I'm Paul Tevis, and I'm here to teach you how to play Greedy Dragons, a card-stacking, treasure-taking game from Evil Hat Productions. In this game, your clutch of dragons has returned from plundering the countryside with a big pile of treasures, and now it's time to divvy up the loot. You play a greedy dragon trying to trick everyone else into leaving you with the biggest pile of treasure. This video is designed to get you started playing quickly. Refer to the written rules as needed for more detail. In the rulebook, you can also find 2-player rules, team rules, and rules on adjusting the treasures to increase or decrease the randomness of the game. First, shuffle the treasure chest cards and deal 5 to each player. Each player's personal pile of treasure chest cards must stay face down until the end of the game. No peeking. Then, place 24 treasure chest cards face down in a scattered pile in the center of the table. Return the rest to the box. This pile will serve as the treasure chest draw and discard pile when you gain or lose treasure. If you would like to adjust the randomness of the treasure chest cards, check out the tips near the end of the rulebook. Next, shuffle the lair cards and remove cards based on the number of players. Put these unused cards back in the box. Remove 12 cards for a 6-player game, 25 cards for a 5-player game, 20 for 4 players, and 27 for either 2 or 3 players. Then, randomly place 1 lair card face up in front of each player. Your lair cards make up your tableau. Whenever you place lair cards, put the bottom edge, that's the one with the shadowy thief and piles of gold, pointing towards the player who owns the lair. Make sure to see the rulebook for how to modify setup and add the sleeping dragon for a 2-player game. Now, deal each player a hand of 2 lair cards face down. Players can look at their hand at any time. Next, place the rest of the lair cards face down in the center of the table next to the treasure chest pile to form the lair draw deck. Choose a starting player. This can be the person who has played the most greedy dragons, or, if no one has played before, the oldest player. Place the start player card next to that person's tableau. Now it's time to build lairs. The starting player selects a lair card from their hand and places it in the tableau of their choice, their own or any other player's. The lair cards are divided into 2 sections, each containing either an arrow or a treasure value. When adding to a tableau, you can place lair cards next to another lair card, directly on top of a card, or covering just one section of a card. A tableau can be 2, 3, or 4 sections wide. And remember, you can place a lair card on anyone's tableau. It does not need to be your own. Play continues to the left of the starting player, with players placing one of their lair cards per turn. The round ends when all players have played 1 lair card, leaving just 1 lair card in their hand. After everyone has added a lair card to a tableau, players determine how many treasure cards they gain or lose that round, beginning with the starting player's tableau. First, add up any treasure sections in the tableau. The total treasure value may be positive or negative. Then, look at any arrow sections. Single arrows affect the player directly to the right or left of the tableau. Arrows that point down affect the owner of the tableau. Double arrows affect the player 2 to the right or left of the tableau. Overall, a tableau can affect 0 to 3 players. Tableaus that are all treasure chests or all arrows will affect no one. A tableau with 3 different types of arrows could affect 3 players. If an arrow affects a player, they earn the sum of the positive and negative treasure values in that tableau. If 2 arrow sections, double or single, affect the same player, that player gains or loses twice the amount of the treasure value. If there are 3 arrow sections affecting one player, multiply the value by 3. Players who gain treasure draw that number of treasure chest cards from the center draw pile and add them to their personal pile. Players who lose treasure discard that many treasure chest cards from the top of their personal pile and add them to the center draw pile. If multiple players are affected by a given tableau, draw or discard treasure chest cards clockwise, starting with the current start player. If you gain treasure when a tableau is resolved, but there are no treasure chest cards left in the center draw pile, you don't earn any treasure from that tableau that round. If you lose treasure but don't have any cards to discard, you don't lose any treasure from that tableau. Continue resolving tableaus clockwise from the starting player. After all tableaus have been resolved, the start player card moves to the player to the left of the current starting player. All players draw one lair card from the lair draw deck, so their hand is back up to 2 cards, and a new round starts. Once the lair draw deck is empty, play continues until the end of the round. Each player is left with just one lair card in their hand. There is a final round of gaining or losing treasure before the game ends. After the final round, players flip over all the treasure chest cards from their personal pile and add up the total value of gems indicated on their cards. Treasure chest cards are worth either 0, 1, 2, or 3 gems. There is one treasure chest card that contains a precious magical ring worth 10 gems. The player with the most gems wins. In the case of a tie, the winner is the player with the most treasure chest cards. Have fun, and may the greediest dragon win.